Hello, Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising, as well as Venus time travelers. I hope you're doing well. Thank you for being here. This is your new moon in Capricorn message. I'm doing this reading as a 6-month reading because the energy of this new moon in Capricorn will culminate with the full moon in Capricorn on June 29th. And so I wanted to see what we need to work on between now and then to put us on path for the life that we truly desire. So let's get into the Leo collective now. As always, keep in mind that these readings are general in nature, so just take the parts that fit, leave the ones that don't. Don't force a message if it's not yours, because it just means that that one message belongs to someone else, okay? So let's get into the Leo collective now, Sun, Moon, Rising, as well as Venus placements. What does Leo need to work on in the first 6 months of the year? What clear, grounded intentions do they need to set? How can they pivot towards their long-term goals and visions and dreams? And what do they need to do to become the person that they need to become in order to create and sustain the life that they truly desire? For the Leo collective, one more shuffle here. Thank you. What do we have for you, my love? Winter's dream, gestation period, the wall, obstacles, balance on one foot, balancing act. And at the bottom of the deck, we have gathering around, the power of community. Okay. Sometimes the numbers of the cards resonate with people. Sometimes they don't. So again, don't force them if they don't. But in case you're interested, the numbers on the cards are 63, 56, 9, and 26. So let's clarify this now for Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising, as well as Venus placements. We are clarifying winter's dream, gestation period, the wall, obstacles, dances on one foot, balancing act, and at the bottom of the deck, gathering around, the power of community. For the Leo collective. One more shuffle here. Thank you. Leo, we have the Four of Swords, we have the Two of Swords, and we have the Hermit. We then have the Knight of Pentacles, we have the Page of Cups, and we have the Page of Swords. At the bottom of the deck, we have the Lovers, we have the Three of Pentacles, and we have the Five of Pentacles. That leaves the Queen of Swords, Nine of Cups, Queen of Wands, Hangman here at the bottom of the deck. Okay. We're going to clarify this now using the After Tarot deck for Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising, as well as Venus placements. These messages tend to get specific. So again, if it's not yours, don't be offended. Just check another placement. But I'm already sensing I have a group of you here where you sort of have been sleeping on a dream. Maybe a little bit longer than you should have. I feel like it's time to take action. Not in an erratic way, but in a very balanced way. Okay, let's clarify this here for Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising, as well as Venus placements. We are clarifying Four of Swords, Two of Swords, the Hermit, the Knight of Pentacles, the Page of Cups, and the Page of Swords. One more shuffle. Thank you. The Four of Swords is clarified by the Four of Wands. The Two of Swords is clarified by the Six of Swords. The Hermit is clarified by the Sun. The Knight of Pentacles is clarified by the Empress. The Page of Cups is clarified by the Nine of Swords, and the Page of Swords is clarified by Justice. What you want and desire is yours for the taking or yours for the creating, but you need to start moving towards it. At the bottom of the deck, you have the Death card. You have the Emperor, King of Swords to the Two of Cups. Who or what it is here that you want, I almost feel it's like waiting for you. Okay. Let me get these down here. Death card, Emperor, King of Swords. I'm going to take that Two of Cups as well. Page of Swords to the Page of Swords. Okay. So, winter's dream. There's a dream here that you have. A dream, a goal. You've been thinking about it a lot. Right now, this dream lives in a bit of your fantasy world. There's nothing wrong with that. That's where a lot of our dreams, our plans, our desires are created. This embodies the energy of what or who it is that you desire to be in your life. Or again, some type of level of success that you would like to achieve. But it sort of has just been sitting like a dream right now. It's in dream state, right? It's in a gestation period. Four of Swords to the Four of Wands. We dream of this when we're sleeping, when we're zoned out, you know, just kind of staring out the window. When we have a moment from our busy lives to pause, this is what we're thinking of. Something that would radically change our life. Possibly a new timeline, a new place to live, structure and stability. In our quiet time, we dream about, again, you dream about whatever this is. But Knight of Pentacles to the Empress is the energy of someone who has everything it takes to bring that dream into reality. But the Knight of Pentacles says you have been slow to do that. So you sort of have been sleeping on this dream. Again, gestation period for dreams are great, but if we never move forward towards, executing anything, they'll never come to fruition. So this is symbolizing what or who it is that you want. And this is symbolizing that it's yours for the taking, justice to the Sun card. But this is what we need to do in the in-between. This is the obstacle. And right now the obstacle, my darling, appears to be you. So let's get into that, okay? And again, don't be offended at these messages. They're all, messages from source intended to help move us along towards that Sun card, right? 10 of Cups and 10 of Pentacles that we're desiring. So let's figure out how we can get the Leo collective to move in that direction. 2 of Swords to the 6 of Swords. Again, you're dreaming of this place, right? The place where you land. I love the After Tarot deck because the 6 of Swords shows people arriving to their destination. They're no longer in calm or turbulent waters. They're now on safe ground, right? They're exiting the boat and they have reached their desired destination. But the 2 of Swords says you have been reluctant to move towards that desired destination. So again, it's existing as a dream or as a goal. Your inability or lack of ability, maybe even for some of you, to move towards it has become quite a wall. And sometimes it feels like it's impenetrable. Like, I'm never going to be able to overcome this. I'm never going to achieve that. Whatever it is, it's always going to live out in the ethers, in my dreams, and it'll never be tangible. But I think this reading is telling you it can be tangible. Sorry about that. And the phone went off. So I'm going to take that as a sign of, yes, it is tangible. Page of Cups to the 9 of Swords. You don't have to do it all today, right? You don't have to paddle every single square inch of the ocean to get to that desired land, this island or this destination point of yours. You don't have to do it all, but you can overcome the doubts, fears, or anxieties that are involved here just by doing one little thing at a time. Page of Cups. So what do I mean by that? Sometimes when we dream big, that dream itself provides us with a sense of security, right? And we like to dream. I dream of living down south. I dream of opening up my windows and smelling the ocean air. I dream of my person being there with me. I dream of never having to shovel another square inch of snow or ice in my life ever again. But it's a dream. When I actually put it into context of how to make it a reality, it's quite challenging. I have a home up here that needs significant amount of repair before I can sell it. The equity I need to buy the new house rests within this home. I need to also save some money for a down payment. It can become very overwhelming. And suddenly that dream or wish or goal that I have is starting to seem unattainable, right? Like, I'm never going to be able to penetrate that wall of obstacles between me and where it is that I desire to live. I'm not trying to make the reading about me. I'm just using me as an example, and you apply it to your life how you see fit. So yeah, when I see it in the big scope of everything I would have to do in order to get there, it seems like it's unattainable. But I can start small. I can start small. I can start making a list of the crucial or critical things in the home that need to be fixed in order for it to be sold. I can start making that list, getting approximate estimates on how much it would cost for me to fix it or someone else to fix it. Again, I don't have to get it all fixed this week. I don't have to come up with all of that money this week that I clearly don't have. Otherwise, I would have done these things already. But the point is, I don't have to look at, well, how am I going to get there? Just start small. Page of Cups. Just a little acquisition of information to get us to the desired goal that clearly our heart is very much open towards. Like the Empress energy, we want to birth this creation. I want to live in a different place. You maybe want to launch a business. You maybe want to find a love partner. You know, again, it's different for all of you what that dream, wish, or goal is, but you don't have to do it all today, but you do have to do something. And by you just doing one thing, it makes that bigger goal seem a little less unattainable. It starts knocking away the doubts, fears, and anxieties that really mount up when we think about everything we have to do to get there. Because in the After Tarot deck, the individual is holding the Ace of Swords, and they are slaying the dragon. The 8 swords here of all of these negative thoughts. And so just one small thing. Okay, well, I made the list. Am I moving where my desired destination is tomorrow? Nope. but I'm a little bit closer because I just made the list. Then the next day, maybe I start getting some estimates. Again, am I moving in to, moving to the destination that I desire? No. But I am, again, now I'm 2 steps closer. I made the list. I started getting estimates. See where I'm going? Now I know how much money I need to save. Again, am I moving in on the 3rd day? Nope. But I'm 3 days closer. 3 days closer than I was when I was doing nothing about it. And I think that's the point of this message. You don't have to do it all or learn it all or launch it all today. But you do need to do something in order to get here. And this is going to require a delicate balance, because as you start to acquire information, as you start to do little things towards achieving this goal, you could start feeling that beautiful fire energy within you, but I want it now. I've been fixed on this, right? You're a fixed fire sign, so I've been fixed on this. This is the dream. This is the goal. I want it now. But Source is just saying, no, this is going to require a balancing act on your part. You can't do it all today. You're not meant to do it all today. For whatever reason, in divine timing is when you will reach this destination. And although it's playing out in divine timing, it's also playing out in respect to how much time you're going to put into this. Because if you never start this, even one small little thing here that you need to do or learn or explore or data you need to collect, again, whatever it is, if you never start, you're never going to get here. And it will remain just a dream. Example, I really want to learn how to play the guitar. Do I think I'm going to be the next Jimi Hendrix or Eddie Van Halen? Probably not, but I would love to play the guitar. Well, Source is saying you have the capability here to play the guitar, maybe even to be able to monetize it in some way, or at the very least, supply yourself and possibly your community or your friends gathering around to listen to your music. But if you never pick up the guitar and just learn one chord, just one chord, you're never going to get here. So it will require effort on your part. And again, we can just start small. Small is better than nothing. Small puts us one tiny baby step closer to the dream. But the dream is real. It's attainable. Hermit to the Sun. You know this is attainable. Like if you really sat within and did some soul searching, you could see yourself living in this location, launching this business, being successful, expanding the current business, learning the new skill, graduating from whatever class or course that you want to take, falling in love, having children, like whatever the dream goal here is for you. You've done the soul searching. You know that it's not unrealistic. You're not dreaming to conquer the planet Pluto and habitate it with people, and that's really far-fetched for 2025, 2025, 6 kind of imagination. Because for some of you, this started last year in 2025. You sort of been a little dragging your feet, right? Maybe sleeping on it a little bit since then, and that's okay. It happens, but this is like go time. So it's not unrealistic what you want, because you've done the soul searching required. You've determined what or who it is that you need here or would like in your life. And it is realistic. And I think Source is trying to tell you it's absolutely attainable. Just because you don't have it today doesn't mean it's not coming in, but it will require effort on your part. Again, that Page of Swords to the Justice, just small incremental acquisition of information, data. Again, we're looking at baby steps here, Page of Cups and Page of Swords. But that's all it's going to take for the universe to turn around and say, wait a minute, Leo's really effing serious about this. So we need to now start doing our part. We need to start moving around the chess pieces so justice will be served. So karmic justice here, good karma, right, dharma, will prevail. That Leo does get the outcome that they want. So as long as you start working on this, as small as it is, some effort every day, every other day, but it needs to be consistent in nature, starts getting the universe to kind of spin their head around and go, wait a minute, what's Leo doing? Oh, they want that after all. It's not just some dream or fantasy that they think about in their downtime or to soothe themselves on the hard days or to put themselves to sleep. Oh, they really want this? They're starting to take steps towards it? Okay, we need to now start doing our part. And I feel like that's your message here. So the Lovers to the Three of Pentacles to the Five of Pentacles, this is your choice. This is your choice. Do you want to gather around this dream and actually start moving towards it? It's your choice. Three of Pentacles to the Five of Pentacles. You can start working on it, or you can completely abandon it and just leave it as a dream. But at that point, it's not my fault or the universe's fault or another tarot reader's fault or anyone else's fault why it didn't come to fruition. Because it's essentially you choosing to walk away from the dream or the goal. You're choosing to abandon it. But again, that's your divine gift of free will. You have that choice. But you also have the power to make it come to fruition. Death card, Emperor, King of Swords to the Two of Cups. Look how beautiful this is. This is transforming yourself and saying, you know what? Damn it. I really want this. I can see it clearly. This is what I want. And you harness that power of your masculine and feminine energy within you, Empress to the Emperor, and this comes to fruition. Now that Emperor to Empress here, I'm not going to lie, this is a counterpart as well for those of you looking for that. So this is the business partner you need. This is the lover you need. This is the boss you need. This is the type of community you need. This is the type of client base you need. Again, whatever your end goal here is, this is the match for it. But if you don't move towards it, if you don't make yourself vulnerable in love and say, okay, I'm going to probably have to kiss a couple frogs till I meet my Prince Charming or, you know, Princess Charming, they're out there waiting for you. You can make the choice. You can start working on lowering your vulnerability, you know, lowering your walls just a little bit and being a bit vulnerable and getting out there into the world. Again, you don't have to jump into the deep end. You don't have to say, I'm going to meet someone this week and marry them by Sunday. But just a little step, getting out there into the world. This could even be you're desiring a love partner and you're giving up all hope. I'm never going to meet anyone. And this could be like, no, wait a minute. Let's just explore different avenues because this person's on your path. So maybe the opportune way is not a dating app. Maybe it's not some dating profile. Maybe it's more targeted. Maybe it's like joining a community group, gathering around, right? This talks about the power of community. So maybe it's volunteering. I mean, I met my person volunteering at a museum. Never thought I was going to meet him volunteering at a museum. And both of us were married when we met. I think I've shared that story before. My marriage was failing. His marriage was failing. We met, never connected, volunteered. That was it. A whole year went by. Had the chance to volunteer together on a project. Fate brought us back together. I think God was basically slapping us beside the head like, hello, idiots. I tried to get the two of you together a year ago. You didn't pay attention to one another. That second time was like, okay, now there was a look. Now there was an exchange, almost like the soul saying, hey, where the hell have you been? And I think God was sitting there saying, what do you mean, where the hell has he been? I sent him to you a year ago and you totally ignored him. So at that point, I had been already, exited from my marriage, and he was on his way out of his. And maybe that's what it was. It was divine timing, right, at play. However, if I did not volunteer at that museum, if I decided to not participate in that project that I was asked to participate on, I would have just delayed the encounter even more. Now, I didn't join with the expectation of meeting my next person. I joined because I just wanted to get out into the community. But I just feel like it could be like that for some of you. Like the boss you need, the business partner you need, the realtor you need, the teacher you need. This soulmate that you're desiring, again, whether it's career and finance, love and romance, or something else, could be for some of you within your community or the greater area of your community. And you're just wondering, why haven't I met the right blank yet, right? This, whatever this person is to you, why haven't I met them yet? Well, maybe they're not on an online forum. Maybe you should start, again, just for someone watching here, maybe with that Page of Swords on both decks here, maybe you need to explore some community involvement, find an interest group or an organization that really calls to you and you align with their mission. Because odds are then you're going to meet a person or people who will be aligned to that mission as well, right? Because they're joining for that purpose. And so this could even just mean, this could also be in respect to, I have a Leo here who dreams of having a good community group or a good solid group of friends, not 100 people, 1, 2, 3 solid people in my corner. But if you don't venture out and meet them, how would you ever meet them? You know what I mean? Unless they're going to knock on your door for trick-or-treating at Halloween time, how would you meet them? So you're just delaying meeting this person or these people. For others of you, this is just representing the goal or the dream. But again, you're delaying accomplishing this or reaching that task or reaching that goal. I don't think we have much to clarify on here. I want to get you some advice. How do we get you, clarify that Page of Cups? Because I think you just need to start doing something. One more shuffle here. Thank you. Otherwise, you're going to sleep on this. 6 of Wands. 9 of Swords. I like this 9 swords to the 9 of Swords to the Magician. You just have to do something. 6 of Pentacles. Again, you don't have to do all of this at once, but the energy will gain momentum and your manifestation will come in a lot quicker. But again, you're going to have to do something here. And the only way to dispel these doubts, fears, and anxieties is for you to do one small thing. And that's when the momentum starts to build. Clarify that Nine of Swords, which I like because I see you here slaying. Okay, this fell. We have the Ten of Pentacles. So it's interesting. I'm going to leave it there because it fell on the Four of Wands. So whatever dream, wish, or goal here you have, you want it to be sustainable. You want it to be long-term. You want it to be long-lasting. And that could be in respect to wealth, financial abundance. It could be good health for some of you. You're desiring good health. Source is saying good health is there for you. But what are maybe some dietary or exercise changes that you need to make? Or what's some new information you need to explore or acquire in order to reach that health goal that you have? And same thing if this is love related in terms of wanting a partnership or just a community of people that are solid. It will, whatever that is for you, is attainable, but only if you move towards it. Nine of Swords is clarified. Again, that Page of Swords, the World card, and the Ace of Swords. Everything I said is the truth. It's yours for the taking, but you're going to have to take a leap of faith and do one small thing. And at that point, then, you'll need to be dedicated as well. Clarify that Two of Cups for me here. Six of Swords, which is here, reaching your destination. The Star and the Wheel of Fortune. Didn't I mention divine timing? So this is you working in concert. This is you. That wish, dream, or goal is smack in the middle. Okay? Six of Swords, this was you. And the Six of Swords. As you move towards the destination, again, whatever the dream, goal, wish here is in the Star, this North Star of yours that you're desiring, it's not just a wish, dream, or goal. Because as you move towards it, the divine starts putting things in place here in that Wheel of Fortune energy to meet you in the middle. This is a highly claimable reading, Leo. But again, as a tarot reader, and I see other tarot readers, you know, we can all tell you that this is coming. This person, place, thing, this dream, wish, or goal. But if you don't do this, the new cycle won't start. It will require investment on your part, investment of time, the acquisition of knowledge, dedication, and not allowing doubts, fears, anxieties, or excuses to prevent you from moving forward. Tell me more about that Two of Cups. One more shuffle. Thank you. This could be like, I really want to launch a business. I could see myself being successful. I think I have a product or service that the public would consume and probably would pay me in some way for that consumption or for the knowledge that I want to share. Great. Let's start learning. What do we need to learn in order to launch the business? Do we need to learn some programs? Do we, again, the acquisition of data. Otherwise, is it possible for you to have this Ten of Pentacles type of business? Absolutely. Could this Two of Cups here represent your client base? Absolutely. So yeah, they're out there. They're out there waiting to spend money on your product or service. But if you don't start taking steps to launch the business, in time, they will then have to give their resources to another business who is providing the product or service that you would provide or something close to it. So again, that Two of Cups could be anything or anyone, or like I said, a group of people. But they're not just going to miraculously show up and say, hey, Leo, I heard you offer a great product or service. Get your shit together. Open up your website. Launch your YouTube page, whatever it is, because I want to give you money for it. You know, open up your storefront. It's not going to work that way. You're going to have to create it first. But if you build it, they will come. Four of Cups. Or it could be a missed opportunity. Seven of Wands and the Six of Pentacles. If you don't move on this, I think you're going to have some regrets. Six of Pentacles. If you don't start investing in this, in whatever this is for you, if you resist in the Seven of Wands, if you make too many excuses for it, if you delay it in that Four of Cups, I do think it'll be a missed opportunity. And we're going to end your reading with the same card that started your reading. That's why I love tarot. Four of Swords to the Four of Swords. It will remain just a dream. It doesn't have to be, though. You don't have to sit here mourning the loss. Like, this is the creation of the dream. And this would be you. This is like someone in a mausoleum. This would be you looking at the dream, holding a flower and mourning what could have been. This does not have to be a lost opportunity. And since I had said mausoleum or in mourning, when I was volunteering at the museum, I became in charge of the oldest cemetery in my town. And I still sit on the board of directors of that cemetery. But when I started researching the people there, some of the headstones are from the 1700s, and they're all falling apart, and it took a lot to just figure out who's buried there. And what's really interesting is the highest point in our town, or one of the highest points in our town. And so you have a single family plot that's completely vertical. There'll be like 6 people, one stacked on top of the other, obviously in caskets, right? But then you only have one headstone with the family name. So it took a lot. Of course, we can't dig up any of the graves. There's no DNA or anything. But it just took a lot of historical research to figure out who they are. And some of these people, from newspaper accounts that I found, generational stories, that were passed down, these were people that had, not all of them, okay, but a lot of them were incredibly wealthy when it came to dreams, goals, and aspirations, but it never materialized. And I realized, working in that little cemetery that has about 161 graves, and 161 graves, which is fairly small for a little grave. And again, those were only the ones we could identify because of their vertical placements. But anyway, I stood there one day after I installed a solar water fountain, and I looked around and I thought to myself, I'm standing on the richest place of the earth right now. This shoddy old 1700 cemetery. Because these people died with dreams and goals and inventions that could have changed the course of their life, their community, possibly even the world. But they didn't act on them. Many of them did not act on them. In fact, only one person in that cemetery actually, that I was able to verify, actually acted upon a dream or a goal. And so that to me was humbling and heartbreaking. And that moment forward, I felt, whatever dream or goal I have, I don't want to die with any regrets, and I don't want to take it to the grave. I want to die a rich person, not in terms of monetary value, because that will serve me not when I'm dead. But I want to die a rich person to say, at least I tried. I'd like my headstone to say that. Even if I failed, even if I didn't get the Sun card or the Justice card, I at least want to know that I tried and that I didn't die with any regrets. So again, I got a little morbid and cryptic there in your message, and I didn't mean to be, but don't die with this dream. You don't have to sit there mourning it, and you don't have to take it to the grave, but you can make it a reality. Let's get you 3 cards of advice. Or not. At the end of the day, you have the divine gift of free will. But I wouldn't take it with me. 3 cards of advice here for you, my love. One more shuffle. Thank you. Your advice. 6 of Pentacles again. Just start giving to it. Some time, some money, some love. Again, whatever needs. Some attention. King of Pentacles. Start investing in this. 3 of Cups. There will be a reason to celebrate. You will get Ace of Pentacles. You will get exactly what it is that you want. The success, the person, the life you desire. All you have to do, tower to the moon, is overcome these fears, doubts, and insecurities. And the best way you can do that, Ace of Pentacles, Ace of Wands, just start. Just start today. One small little thing towards making this a reality. And if this is meeting someone, just start researching some community groups in your area, in your region, in your state. Review them, obviously check them, do your background check. But maybe the love of your life is waiting there. But you're not going to know until you take one step forward. Maybe your business here is what you need to create the generational financial wealth or stability that you've always desired. Maybe you're sitting on a manuscript that people would love to publish or love to turn into a movie. But you're not going to know until you actually start investing in it. Yeah, don't take this dream with you, Leo. It's way too fucking good. It's way too good. That is what I have for you, my dear. The first 6 months of the year could be quite powerful and life-changing for you, as long as you dedicate yourself to whatever this dream, wish, or goal is. That is your new moon and Capricorn message. If you like this message, it resonated with you, you want to claim all or part of it, please be sure to click like, share, comment, and subscribe. Hype the video if you're able to do that. And until I read for you again, I am wishing you light, love, and peace.